Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, it's Friday. Thanks for the hearts. How's it going? It's time for Crochet and Chat Live. Happy Friday. I've got my coffee. By the way, I wanted to let you guys know, it's been a while now since I added my stickers. So these are my clear stickers that are in my Etsy shop, and I wanted to give you guys an update on them because I know a lot of people buy stickers for their cups, like their coffee mugs and stuff. And I've been washing these very, very regularly now for this one at least maybe 6 months, and it's great. So like if you have any feedback on, like, I just hand wash them. I don't put them in the washing machine, but or the dishwasher. But I have my 2 stickers that I put on here, and they've actually done really well. I'm really excited about that. But you know, it's hard to tell people how good your stickers are unless you know. So I've been washing them. And by the way, super honest moment today. I've got this big old zit on my face that I was picking at it because it was bugging me, and I didn't even cover it up. I didn't even think about it until now I'm on here and I see it glaring at me. It's like my third eye down here. Oh, good Lord. It's a big truck or something across the lake. I don't know what that is. It's loud. Let me know what you're drinking this afternoon. I've still got my first cup of coffee. I haven't had time to finish it. I know zits happen. Exactly. See, it's just there. It's there. It's hanging out with us today. It's like my little sidekick on today's live. All right, I've got my first cup of coffee. I guess it's kind of my second cup. It's like a cup and a half, because then I just go and fill it up, But I never drained that cup. So, All right, somebody's got tea. Jasmine tea. All right, yes. Usually this time of day in the summer, it's either my regular coffee if I'm inside in the AC, or I'll get like some iced coffee if I'm outside. But then I have to make sure I'm drinking water. Got to stay hydrated. But I love kombucha. Kombucha is one of my favorite things to have during the summer because I don't really drink. Stevie says coffee all day. Yes, I agree. But during the summer, I stopped drinking soda a long time ago. I just don't really drink soda. It was mostly about the sugar content. But kombucha has been one of my favorite things as like a summer soda-esque treat. That and like sparkling water, Giant glasses of water, I'm addicted to it. That's good. And let me know, you guys, do you drink water iced, or do you drink it room temperature? Because I'm one of those weirdos who drinks it room temperature because I can drink more. And I have sensitive teeth. So if I'm drinking water with ice, it causes, it hurts. Doesn't feel very good. Explain what kombucha. Kombucha is a fermented tea. So it's a sparkling fermented tea. Usually like green tea, black tea, because I don't drink tea. I don't like tea. I've tried really hard. I'll drink like peppermint tea if my stomach hurts. And you got it all right except the K. So there's a K at the beginning instead of a C. So kombucha. You can find it anywhere. Like if you are in Publix or, yeah, the captain says it's disgusting. I really like it. To me, it's like the perfect thing for the summer because it's sparkly and it reminds me of having a soda, but it's better. It's got lots of probiotics, which is great. Some people make their own. I feel like that's too much of a science experiment for me to do in my own kitchen. But a lot of people do it. Shit is literally growing in it. Yeah, exactly. It's true. It's true. There is stuff growing in it. But it's, it's what it is. I like it. I enjoy it. Okay, so what am I working on today? Because I do need to crochet some during this chat. I am finally working on my first fall piece for this fall season. My first fall design. And I am using my new yarn. So if you guys saw one of my last posts, this is Umami by Hobie. I feel like I should start calling it Hobie because I think that's the right way to pronounce it. But I've called them Hobby the whole time I've known about them. So it feels weird saying saying Hobie. But this is their umami yarn. It is a wool blend. It's pretty soft. I mean, for a wool blend, it's good. Kombucha is not how COVID started. You stop that. Stop it. So my first item is going to be a pullover sweater. That's the goal. Now, I may end up having to frog the whole thing, because, you know, that happens. But I'm hoping that I'm, you know, getting it right. So I'll show you guys the first piece. So this is the first panel. So this is the V for the neck. You can see my hair out of the way. So that would be the shoulder, the V for the neck, and then so it'll have the V here. And I'm thinking about doing double-sided the same way, so 4 panels total. So you'd seam the sides and the front, which I'm not a huge fan of seaming, but my idea is that it'll be reversible. So because both sides will have this V, they will have a border of a contrasting color. So I think I'm going to do an entire border. Nancy says she drinks that too. Yeah. Yeah. See, I'm not the only one. I think I'm going to do a gold border around. And then on the other side, I'm going to do gold panels with the rust border. And then it could be a flipped one. So you could like wear it front or back, because both will have the same V-neck. And then it'll probably be like long sleeve or 3/4 sleeve or something like that. But that's my goal. This is single crochet only. So my goal this year for my fall collection, I wanted to try to find a way to do single crochet only designs, because I'm really going big on the beginner friendly. I'm just owning it, you know. Most of my patterns are super beginner friendly, and I've decided that that's really going to be my niche, is beginner friendly patterns. And even not just beginners, but experienced crocheters who want maybe a break from their super complex designs that they're working on. It'll probably be skinnier sleeves, because most of my sleeves right now have like the bigger puffs, I think. So it depends on how it turns out, because once I start adding the sleeves, I'm thinking about adding the sleeves and then just doing a regular decrease underneath on the seam, so that they'll just decrease down the arm. That's the goal, but I haven't done that yet, so I don't know how well that's gonna work. But like I said, so you guys, in case you missed it, this is what I'm working on. This is the first one, and it's a little bit longer. It's not a cropped, you know, I'm big on cropping things without even thinking about it. I have them like hit my waist, but I'm very short-waisted, so I've always bought things that like crop a little bit instead of trying to make them longer. But this is a little bit longer, and it's single crochet only. And so the cool thing about this too, because it's single crochet looks almost identical on the back and front. So there's going to be no right way or wrong way to combine these patterns, because you're going to repeat this panel 4 times. Same exact panel 4 times. And then you'll just be able to flip this one and match them up, because these look so similar on the front and back that, and again, I'm all about beginner friendly. I don't want to confuse people with right side, right panel, wrong panel. I want people to just be able to just sew them together and it'll be great, you know? So that's what I'm working on. And I've got my other one here. So this is how far I've gotten on my second panel. So I've got a long way to go. But that's what I'm going to work on today. And these were our new fire hooks that we just released. I still have plenty of these sparkly, fiery goodness things. It is single strand, Stevie, yes. So I do feel like I need to do a double-stranded chunky cardigan, just because it would be obnoxious and wonderful. So I think that needs to be on the list as something to work on. Something else that's coming up, you guys, is my crochet craft show pattern bundle. So the last thing, and I'll show you because I have one down here. I need to take pictures for the pattern, but this is my headband. That's the headband that's going to be included, and it is a single crochet and half double crochet alternating to create like the mini ridges. So this still has to be tested. I'm not doing a call for testers because I have a few people that
tested my cowl that are just gonna test this for me, because I literally just need people to make sure that it makes sense. It has a full video to go with it, and that's the cool thing. So like, here's up close so you guys can see, but that's going to be in my Crochet Craft Show pattern bundle. So the pattern bundle for craft shows, it's all the things that I used to make for craft shows. So I used to go to craft shows every single weekend starting at the end of October all the way to Christmas. So it was like 10 to 12 craft shows, and I finally narrowed it down to the things that I could make really fast, and make a lot of them, and that they still looked valuable. They looked, I want to say expensive, but they looked very high quality and well made. Just like, you know, this has a nice little ridge. Like, it looks, it's not just a plain single crochet. Like, it has a nice look to it, a nice texture. And you can see it's a barely visible seam. So this is the seam. So you can barely see that seam. That's where I join. So I join in the round on these, so you don't have to actually sew these up. And that's a goal. Again, the less sewing, the less extra stuff that you have to do, the easier it is to make them, and to make a lot of them to go to craft shows. So the craft show bundle is going to have a headband. It's going to have a pom-pom hat. The pom-pom hat that I already have out, that's going to be included in the pattern bundle. The headband will have a video. A scarf, my huge, super crazy, chunky scarf. That one will have a video as well. And we'll talk about packing suggestions. Actually, so I think one of my next Tip Tuesdays is going to be all about craft shows, because there's so much that, you know, I can share about that. But yeah, so the bundle, headband, fingerless gloves, hat, scarf, I think definitely my cat cozy bundle, and I think my cat ear hat. I think I'm going to have 6 in there. And my goal, so right now, I did just add all of my Learn to Crochet videos to my YouTube channel. If you guys haven't checked out my YouTube channel, it's just youtube.com/pinksheepdesign. And I have a whole playlist dedicated to learning to crochet, and that was in the making for a long time. I'm so excited that it's finally live. I haven't really announced it on my Instagram page yet, but it is in combination with a Learn to Crochet kit that's now in my Etsy shop. So in my Etsy shop, there's a kit that you can buy. It comes with 1 skein of yarn, a 16mm hook, stitch markers, and a tapestry needle. You'd get that in the mail, and then it has instructions on how to go to my YouTube site, how to watch the videos on the playlist in the right order, and you start out with just an intro of me introducing, you know, all of the materials you'll need, and that's in case people don't want to purchase my kit. They can go out and purchase what they need at a store, you know, so I go over all of the elements that are in the kit, and if they want to go buy them, they can, and they can follow along with all the videos. There are now 8 videos in the series, and it's everything from slip knot and starting your starting chain to single crochet, double crochet, half double crochet, how to make a magic circle, how to crochet in the round, how to use your stitch markers, and then at the very end there's what I'm calling my sampler hat that puts it all together. So there is a full tutorial available now on my Etsy shop for what I call, like I said, my sampler hat, that's very similar to my pom-pom hat that I've already got a pattern out for. Will Perimeter Credits asks, what's my next milestone pattern for YouTube? So I'm pretty sure that my next milestone is going to be 750 subscribers. I think I'm at just over 600 subscribers on YouTube. And for 750, I believe I'm going to be releasing my newest super chunky scarf tutorial. I had released a similar tutorial a while back for that scarf, but it just wasn't the greatest. Like, I was still learning, you know, how to get the right angle, and, you know, we now have equipment that lets me do a really great top-down visual of the tutorial, so it's easier to follow. So that's available right now if you purchase the pattern, and I think I'm going to be releasing that next week, hopefully next week, along with the entire craft show pattern bundle. And then the next one will probably be the headband. So I'm putting the videos out there unlisted, so like people who purchase my pattern can use the link, but they'll go live as I hit my milestone. So they'll go actually public for anyone who's following my channel as I reach my milestones. Because once I get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, I can actually go live straight from my phone, which will be super helpful. And if I do decide to monetize or do any kind of ads, or people can donate at that point. So when you start going live, people can donate during your live chat, you know, if you want to do that. But that's the biggest milestone. So on my way, slowly just adding videos as I can. But that's what's coming up. So my Crochet Pattern bundle is what I've been working on a lot. And I did release my Sneaky Buns hat. So my Sneaky Buns bucket hat is a live, a free tutorial on my YouTube channel now, which is exciting. So that's out there if anyone wanted to check it out. And it's also available in my Etsy shop. So if you like having the actual paper pattern or PDF file, you can purchase that in my Etsy shop. So next up is the Cowl Scarf. My testers just finished that one. I sent them the final PDF yesterday. Everything looks good, so I should be able to release that. Like I said, I would like to release it as a part of the entire pattern bundle. And yes, Scrap Girl TC, that's what I'm doing right now. So right now I'm going live through StreamYard. But it'll be really nice to not have to go through StreamYard. It'd be nice to just be able to go live straight from my phone. Because StreamYard can make it kind of difficult. I have to use my browser on my phone. And so then I'm having to like scooch in to like look at the comments, you know. So I'm hoping that, you know, that will help me just make it a little easier. You know, I won't have to set it up like that. But, you know, just trying to grow. But yeah, working on my second panel for my first sweater. And let me know, I haven't done this in a really long time, but if there's anyone watching live today that wants to join my live and let me know what they're working on, you can do that. Just request to be in the video. You can show me if you've got a project you're working on, you know, share what you've got happening. If not, totally cool, you know. I just realized I hadn't done that in a long time. Oh, and I realized I need to announce the winner of my giveaway. Is that a rainbow crochet bralette? Okay, so you guys know, if you've been watching my past couple of Friday lives, I have been working on a bralette that was just... it was killing me, you guys. I mean, it was just trying to get it written up, and I finally finished it, but I kept it for myself, and I'm probably not going to release it until next year. But that's what I'm wearing. So that's the bralette that I'm wearing. It's actually got nice thick straps, which was something that everybody was saying that they wished they saw more in bralettes, and it comes about down to here. It's got a V-neck. I'm not going to pull my shirt down, you guys. You can see it through my shirt. But it's got a cross back. I'll show you the back. So you can see how they actually like become smaller, and then they cross, and then they cross twice and tie down here on the back. So similar to some of the other ones that I've done. Stevie says no. I know, it's just so much. It's just so much trying to get it right, and trying to get it right for all sizes. And I do think I'm close. I do think that without having to add any increases like under the boobs to give more space for larger ones, I think I'll still be able to release it as a pretty size inclusive pattern. Air them out for Stevie. No, we're not all friends. Not that close. But it's very comfortable. I'm very happy with it. I do think that it is, well, I'm jealous. Well, like I said, I'm not going to not release it. I just feel like I needed to move forward and start working on my fall stuff, because it's going to be fall before we know it. And I wanted to at least have one fall pattern in the works, which is the one I'm working on now. That's not an older pattern, because like my headband is older. It's just I never wrote it up, so finally writing that up. And the Cowl Scarf, like I said, is also older. I just hadn't gotten around to writing it up. So, but new designs, I really wanted to get started on a new design. But I'm not giving up. Like I said, maybe I can still make it happen this year, and it'll just be a weird bralette that gets released not in the summertime. Because I know there's quite a few people who've already said they want to test it. And I used size 5 yarn, so I used the Bernat Maker Home Deck yarn, which is a size 5. So very on brand, like to have a bralette that's a size 5 yarn. And I really, you know, I enjoyed making it. It's just getting it written up and making sure that it's nice and clear for everyone so that they can understand it. And to still make it beginner friendly. I think that's always going to be, it's always going to be the biggest obstacle for me, is I don't want my patterns to get too complicated. I don't want them to, you know, not be at least advanced beginner. You know, I don't want someone to feel like they have to understand how to change things up on their own without a lot of instruction or direction. And honestly, you guys, that's why I haven't ever done made to measure patterns, because I know for me, when I was a beginner, the whole idea of trying to figure out how to do a made to measure pattern was too intimidating for me. And so just knowing my own experience, I wanted the actual direction. I wanted someone to tell me, like, okay, if you're this size, this is how many, you know, stitches you need to start it out, you know, instead of measure yourself and then figure out how many stitches you need for that size. And so yeah, that's why I've been holding off on this pattern, because yeah, it just felt like a lot. And honestly, if you guys have checked out the bralettes that I have out right now, it is the Rachel crop top and the Everyday crop top are the two that I have out, and I think they only go up to like an extra large, and that was the biggest issue, because that felt doable for me. That felt like I could figure out how to make that work. But going from an extra small to a 5X, it's definitely more daunting, because it's not a one size fits all. You can't keep everything the same. You know, you have to make sure, like, for instance, with this one, as the bralette gets larger, you're going to want to lengthen the band so that people have more of a band underneath for support. But then if you do that, you're not going to be able to have, like, when I get back here, I do one like triangle that wraps down, and then that's where I insert, you know, things to cross and pull. And I feel like if your band is too much larger, you almost want to have maybe 2 triangles, you know, so you have more of a cross to like pull things around. And so that's what I was thinking for this one, but then I'm like, well, I'm not going to be making these, so do I need to like draw a diagram, you know? And it just got a little overwhelming, and I was like, I just need to put this away for a little while, you know, and start working on something else. So, but it's not going away forever. Like I said, I've worn it pretty much all week. I need to wash it, but it's super comfortable. So you know, I definitely don't want to not put it out there. I've just got to make sure I've got the time to do it right, you know, and get everyone on board to test and do that. Another thing we've been working on that has kind of kept me from working on my patterns a little bit more than I would like to, and it's a good reason, is we are trying to plan out, I've got 3 Halloween designs that are going to be coming out next month. So I wanted to release my Halloween designs in September so that you have plenty of time to order them and have them for the month of October. I don't want them to like arrive on Halloween. You know, I want you to be able to wear them all of the month of October if you want to. And so there's 3 designs that are in the works. If you saw my stories a while back, you've probably seen them. They're pretty simple designs, but really cool. They're very different. All 3 of them are very different. One is super, super colorful. And then the other 2 are a little more on just like the black, like outline kind of look. I'm going to have at least one of those turned into a sticker. So it'll be a Halloween sticker. And then the big thing is we are going to be doing Halloween mystery boxes. So we've gone back and forth and back and forth and back and forth trying to figure out how to make the Halloween mystery boxes work, because they won't be all crochet stuff, so it's not going to be like all crochet tools. You know, we would want to throw in maybe some like Halloween candy and, you know, some just like random Halloween treats and goodies, but then we also want to include at least one of my designs as like a bag or a mug or something cool. And we're gonna have at least 2 tiers. So the smaller tier at this point we're thinking is gonna be $50 for the mystery box. And with that one, like I said, you'll probably get one exclusive item that would be something that's not like a 3D printed tool. It would just be like something like a bag or a mug or something like that. And then we have some ideas for like some stitch markers and like really just fun items to include. And then the other tier would be $100 tier, and that one's actually going to get an exclusive Halloween themed hook. So one of our 3D printed hooks, we have some really fun ideas for like a Halloween hook. So the $100 box would get the hook and like a whole bunch of other crazy Halloween stuff. So that's what our thought process is, but we've been trying to get it all ready so that when I announce it, I have all the details, and you know, you'll kind of have some idea of what you'd be getting in the box. But it would still be a surprise. But we've been wanting to do a mystery box for so long, and I was like, people love Halloween and Halloween goodies, and so now that I've got quite a few Halloween designs and ideas, that's the goal. So we've been working on that. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited to finally announce that, and I think we're going to open pre-orders probably next week for those, because we want to have enough time. We'll probably keep pre-orders open for like a week or two, and then we'll close pre-orders and I'll start ordering stuff, because I may need to order, I'll be ordering things specifically for the boxes. So yeah, that's what we're working on. Oh, and I got off track again. I wanted to announce the winner for the mug giveaway. So this is something that I just started. My goal is to release a new design once a month. So this past month was Think Yarny Thoughts, and I think I brought, yeah, so there are stickers now in the shop. I had forgotten to release them with everything else, but these are the stickers, the Think Yarny Thoughts stickers. And they are clear, so if you put them on something, this is what it looks like. So they have a clear back. Let's see. And every time I release a new design, I wanted to start doing a giveaway for something, whether it's a mug or a t-shirt or something with that new design, just as like a celebration of releasing the new design. So, and just so that you guys know, when I do a sponsored giveaway, so if I'm giving something away that was sponsored by a brand or something like that, usually I go through and I'll take everybody's name who commented on the post and I'll put it into an Excel sheet, and then I'll do like the spinning wheel. But that takes a really long time to enter everybody's name like that. And like I said, I do it because that's, you know, since it's a sponsored post, I try to go above and beyond to do that, and that way I can tag in the stories. But if it's just for me, if I'm just doing a giveaway for something that I'm, you know, like my new designs or a sticker giveaway or something, what I do is I go to my post and I look at the number of comments. So I think that the Think Yarny Thoughts giveaway for the mug had like 170 something comments. So then I'll take that and I'll do Google's random number generator, and I will ask Google to pick a number between 1 and 175, and they'll pick that number, and then I count all the way through the comments till I get to that number, and that's the person I choose. So that's the way that I do my picking randomly for my giveaways that are not sponsored, just so that you guys know. That's the transparency side. That's how I pick. And so the winner of the mug giveaway is actually, and I don't think she's on here, so I'll do a story and remind her, but it's Cad Crochet. So Cad Crochet, and I think there's an S on the end, Cad Crochets, is the winner of my mug giveaway. So super excited to start doing those more regularly and start doing a giveaway like once a month, you know, for some of the new designs. And I have designs lined up right now all the way through November. So you guys will get to see those as I go through
Oh no, Stevie, don't be sad. You can't win every time, Stevie. But yeah, so, just lost my train of thought. I've got my designs lined up, and each month I'll release new ones, new designs, and I'll have a little giveaway for something. At some point I need to do a giveaway for a notebook, because I need to order one of those notebooks. Bonfire now offers notebooks, and the Think Yarny Thoughts was the first time that I was able to do like a custom notebook design. So I need to order that and see. I want to see what the quality is, because I don't think anyone has ordered one yet. So, well, let me know what you guys are getting into this weekend. I'm going to be mainly working on this project. I've got to get a live scheduled for Tuesday. Let me know what pattern you bought. JM Brownham, did I say that right? Said you just got one of my sweater patterns. Let me know which one. I am thinking of doing a crochet along. I've had a lot of interest in doing a crochet along, maybe for a Luna. So that would be something that I could do during my lives on Fridays. But yeah, I'm going to be working on this, and if you guys don't already know, I am going to, I have started doing my Tip Tuesday live sessions. So here on Instagram, I used to go live Tuesdays and Fridays at noon Eastern Time, and I moved my Tuesday to YouTube. So now I go live on Tuesdays at 12 p.m. Eastern Time on Tuesdays on YouTube, on my YouTube channel. And next Tuesday, I'm having a special guest. So you guys also may know, if you've been following me for a little while, I had started doing a series called Pink Sheep and Friends. So Pink Sheep and Friends is really just meant for me to bring someone on the live who also is a maker, usually a crocheter, maybe pattern designer, and we just talk about their business. We talk about what's going on with them. We really just have time to chat, you know, and see what their goals for their business is, you know, what they have coming up that may be new. And this Tuesday, I am having Alt Knots, Kayla of Alt Knots, who, if you guys are following her, you will know that our aesthetics are total opposite if you look at my feed versus her feed. But what's interesting is I started joining in on Kayla's lives on YouTube, because she goes live on YouTube twice a week, and her personality is wonderful. Like, she is super approachable, warm, welcoming, very community driven, very accepting. You know, like, her goal is for everyone to be proud of being a crocheter and being who they are, and it's all very reminiscent of what I'm trying to do with my brand. So she has her own community called the Cowl Squad, and she has a Facebook group for them. She does crochet alongs, and so it was all like, you know, checking all the boxes of the things that I try to do and that I want to try to do as a brand, and, you know, focusing on community and focusing on going live and you know, creating that connection with people, and, you know, wanting people to accept themselves and accept their uniqueness, and be empowered to get creative and to, yeah, to be creative and happy. And so I reached out to her and asked her if she wanted to join me for a Pink Sheep and Friends. And since I'm already going live twice a week, I've decided that my Tip Tuesdays will kind of be a mix. So it'll be a Tip Tuesday, might just be a crochet and chat, just like this on YouTube, or it may be my Pink Sheep and Friends. And so next Tuesday, you can join me and Kayla on YouTube at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. And I really want the focus to be on community and going beyond a brand, going beyond just a business and a brand, and, you know, having those other parts of your business that honestly are in a lot of ways more meaningful than just the money. I mean, obviously, if you make full-time, and so Kayla also is a full-time maker, you know, you need to have additional streams of income, you need to have all of those things, but, you know,
money is only a part of it. You know, money will pay your bills, but you know, you want your brand to be meaningful. You want people to find value in it beyond just the things that you sell. And so I feel like that'll probably be the focus of our conversation on Tuesday, is about community and some of the ways that that can be built, you know, around your brand, because she has a great community of people, you know, who join her for her lives, and who do her crochet alongs with her in her Facebook group, and, you know, who've joined her newsletter. And I really think that having those kinds of conversations are great, and getting to hear what other makers are doing to do that, and what is unique about their community. And so that should be a really fun live session. I'm really excited about that one. And I did see, I didn't miss it, if you're still on here, J.M. Branham, I saw you got the bundle, the sweater bundle. So that's the Luna cardigan and the Weasley sweater is my sweater set that I sell. So you guys can actually find that on my Etsy shop it's a pullover and a cardigan. So that's a fun one. And I thought that was a nice little bundle to have, you know, to have both of those. Because those were really my OG cardigan and sweater. That was the first pullover sweater that I designed, and the Luna was the first long sleeve full cardigan that I designed. So I felt like those were a nice combination to put together for a pattern bundle. And I need to do more of that. I need to add more bundles to the shop. It's just figuring out what works best together. So I'm actually coming along. You guys can see I say I'm coming along. It looks so little on here. But this is my second panel of 4. I'll show you guys in case you're just joining in. Working on my first fall sweater of the season. It's going to be a V-neck sweater. So this is panel 1. You can see this would be the shoulder, and then it'll have the V-neck, and then the other V-neck will come up. It'll be pretty boxy. Most of my sweaters are boxy, and that's because of my goal is for them to be very beginner friendly and very meditative, and very, you don't have to worry about doing a whole lot of counting as you're going through. It's a lot of repetitiveness throughout the pattern. So it's great for, if you like to watch TV and crochet, it's less likely that you're gonna mess up and have to frog an entire panel, because I don't do a lot of increases and decreases. This one I have a little more sewing than I prefer, but in order for me to have, I really want it to be reversible. So I want the front and back to be exactly the same, but in a different color, so it'll be color blocked. So you could wear it with one side forward or the other side forward, because they'll both have a V-neck. So we'll see. I'm really into very functional items. So I guess if you were to describe my patterns, they would be super simple, super beginner friendly, and functional. I want them to fit nicely. I want them to be pieces you'll actually want to wear. That's always been my goal. Even with my crop tops, I designed crop tops that I felt like I could wear all day and be super comfortable in, not just look cute, which is cool. Like, looking cute is really cool, and not that I go anywhere nowadays to try to look cute, but I'm really more about the comfort factor. That's always been a personal preference for me with my clothing. I'm very picky about what I wear and how things feel on me, and so I design around that. I design around that concept of things being comfortable. I don't want to be adjusting myself all day, so for me, keeping it super simple and functional has always been my preference, for sure. So let's see. I know I'm probably forgetting things. What else am I working on? I do have another Pink Sheep and Friends lined up. That's going to be a secret until I meet with this other person. But that'll be great, because that will bring me into September, and I'll have a Pink Sheep and Friends scheduled on YouTube on Tuesday, probably like maybe September 14th, something like that, with another guest who is also a full-time maker. And I'll probably be chatting with them about pattern making, because they write lots and lots and lots of patterns. I feel like that's one of the biggest things they're known for, and I'm excited to be able to talk about that and find out more about how they stay focused and productive, and to get that level of patterns out and them still be high quality patterns. So I'm really excited about that. Let's see, what else do I have coming up? Oh, I wrote another blog post. It is another pattern roundup. So this is actually my third pattern roundup, and I've been wanting to do these like on a monthly basis, but you know, sometimes I fall behind, and but at least every maybe 2 months I want to do a roundup of patterns that are maybe seasonal. So at some point I need to do some fall patterns. But the pattern roundup that I just released on my blog, and I've got a post about it on Instagram, but it's summer tops and tank tops that are full length. So full length, because I already did one for crops, so summer crop tops. I have a pattern roundup on my blog of summer crop tops, but I wanted to do, as we transition, as we start to think about transitioning out of summer weather, I wanted to do a kind of transitional pieces, you know, so these are pieces that you could easily layer because they are full length t-shirts or tank tops that are crochet patterns. My roundups, I try to do a mix of simple and oh, no worries, you're not too late. Let's see, what time is it? Oh yeah, still got plenty of time. Welcome to anyone who's joining in later. I've got, let's see, oh, I try to do a mix of simple patterns, and they'll say beginner friendly. I try to only include size inclusive patterns when at all possible. I'll have the weight of yarn that you need and the hook that you need listed in the blog post, and I have the cost of the pattern. So I try to focus, I don't focus on free patterns. I really focus on patterns that I feel the designers have gone above and beyond to, you know, create good, high quality patterns that are going to be easy for you to follow. So a lot of that comes down to, like, what are their reviews on Etsy? Do I have any knowledge of that designer? You know, I try to make sure that I read the reviews on their patterns to see, like, okay, you know, people have been reviewing and saying that these are easy to follow, they're easy to understand, they're well made. So there is definitely a filter that I put on who I share in the pattern roundup. But I think there's at least 16 to 20 tops on this roundup. There are a few that are a little more intricate, which I think is nice. Like, I like that the roundup has a mix, you know, so if you're a beginner, there's plenty of options for you. But if you want to, like, push yourself a little bit more and try something new and different that's a little more intricate, then there are some options for you in the blog roundup as well. So I'm trying to think too. Let me know in the comments if you guys, we'll see you later, Ellen. Thanks for joining. Let me know in the comments here if there are certain things that you'd like to see me do a roundup of. So I know at some point I'm going to do fall cardigans for sure, like probably fall cardigans and fall pullovers. But I've thought about doing like home decor kind of stuff. So like for fall, maybe some pumpkins or some amigurumi items. But I'm trying to plan ahead and think, like, what are some of the things that you guys might like to see me do a roundup about. So a pattern roundup. If you've liked my pattern roundups, if you haven't seen them, you can check them out. The easiest way to find my blog is in the link in my bio. So if you go to my my main Instagram page, go to the link in my bio, there'll be something that says read the blog. I think it's down at the very bottom. Or you can just go to my website. My website is therealpinksheetdesign.com. That's my website, and then you can just go to blogs. Craft show items. That's a good idea. That's a really good idea, Stevie, because I can include my craft show bundle, so that would be good. And then I'll see if anyone else has craft show bundles, because I feel like the summer roundup. So I did a summer project roundup, and my goal was actually to think about craft shows, because it was quick summer projects. So that was my thought process, was, well, if you go to summer craft shows, you want quick projects, and so that's why the blog roundup was quick summer projects. So I think that's a good idea. Throw blankets, pillows, table runners, so maybe like a home decor roundup is what that sounds like, because wall hangings would be included in that. So I think like a home decor roundup would be good. I usually do a holiday roundup of like gifts that are quick to crochet. a lot of times, and again, I try to find chunky stuff if I can, because there may be chunky patterns that I have no desire to write up, but there are people who've already written similar things up. And so I think that would be good. And then obviously I try to include some things that I can include my own patterns in. You know, usually if I do a roundup, at least 1 or 2 of the patterns are mine. So that way it's all in there. Because we love chunky. Exactly. Exactly. That's what I'm doing. Oh, and this is a 15mm hook. If you can see that one. Now they're all stamped and beautiful. But this is one of the newest ones that we released. But it looks so pretty with this yarn. So I had to use it together. But this is looking nice. It definitely curls, being single crochet. You can see the curling. And I will not block it. Y'all, I don't do anything like that. I don't block my stuff. I just want to wear it. So I'm just going to wear it, and if it's a little wonky, then, you know, but hey, it is what it is. Some people will. I actually have quite a few testers. I don't know if Cindy's on here, but I know Cindy blocks everything she makes of mine when she tests for me, and she'll send me pictures of it blocking, and I'm like, man, I'm glad you do it, because not me. I think I steamed something once. I think I had one of those, it was like a scarf, a Tunisian scarf, actually, I think, and I'll never make one of those again. And I like used the steamer over the top of it, but then it curled again in like an hour, you know, so I was like, screw this. I'm just gonna wear it curly. It's fine. It's handmade, you know, that's what happens. I don't own a blocking board. We've had people, I know that people have asked the captain if he can 3D print like granny square blocking boards or something. And the problem is I don't even know how to use them. So if he printed one, I wouldn't know whether or not it worked. So, you know, there's that. A thick yoga mat and a steamer. Okay. Yeah. Awesome. I mean, I'm really glad that you do that. My knitter mom blocks everything. I'm a minimal blocker. Well, I'm a never blocker, so I get it, you know. I'm glad that you do sometimes. That's really good. That does bring me to something that I have been thinking about. And this has been, I asked the question on my last post here on Instagram. So go check that out when you get off of here, and go answer my question on my last post, because it's all about a dream craft room or a dream yarn room. And I want to know about your dream room. So if you could have like a dream craft room or a dream yarn room, let me know what you would do and what you would have, and like what would be in there. Because that's something that I'm to a point now, because I'm doing this full time, and because I really would like a place to do my live sessions that are not out on my back porch, and I'm not going to be attacked by my dogs while I try to go live in the house. And right now, the space that I work out of, mostly, and it's really like a movement, because so my printer and my computer are in the living room. So we have this little nook off of the living room that has that stuff. So if I'm printing shipping labels and things like that, I have to be in the living room. Just got a new thermal printer, which has changed the game. If you guys print a lot of shipping labels and you've never, used a thermal printer, you need to get one. It's going to save you money. They don't use ink. They don't use toner. You're never going to buy ink and toner again. The actual sticker labels are actually really cheap. I thought they were going to be expensive. They're not. If you want to know which one I bought, shoot me a message, because I got one that has Bluetooth capability so that I can actually print shipping labels I can send the shipping labels to the printer while I'm in my craft room. So my craft room has all of my stuff. My craft room has my stickers, it has my yarn, it has my boxes, my shipping boxes, but there's a big bed in the middle, so it's a smaller bedroom. And so I have to like walk around the bed, and I work on the bed. So like I have stuff laid out on the bed, and I'm packing things up on the bed. And it has some older furniture in there that's not, it's not very aesthetically pleasing. Like if I were to try to go live in there, I would need to change a whole bunch of stuff with the lighting, and I might have to repaint the room just because it's a darker color. It's like a dark purple color. And I know that's tough when you're trying to like have the lightness and the natural light and all that. There's not a good window in there. And so when I was starting to think, okay, how could I turn this room into something I'd really want? Talking to the captain, and by the way, he was the one who said to get a thermal printer. So thank you if he's still on here. He'll appreciate me giving him that credit where it's due. But one of the main things that I talked about was maybe getting a Murphy bed. So turning the bed that's in that room into a Murphy bed to get it up off the floor and have space for a table, because then I could actually have a table to work on. The other thought process was getting rid of some of the really old furniture that's in there. They're like these old towers that if you grew up in, I guess, the 80s, even now, but you may have had one where it's like there are two towers that go on either side of your bed, and then above them there's like a light that like sits in above them, and as you get older you can take the twin bed out and you can put in a desk. So it's like this 4-piece combo that takes up, it's a monstrosity, and it's all 100% wood, real wood, so it's super heavy, and it's dark wood, so it's not something where, even though I have lots of yarn in it and it's kind of workable for the space, it wouldn't be very good for like a backdrop for going live, because that whole space is kind of dark. So I was like, well, I was looking, we have IKEA in Georgia, luckily, because from everything I've heard about shipping from IKEA, it can be horrendous, and every time we've tried to have IKEA shipped to us, even though we're in Atlanta, they cancel our order for no reason. So I don't know what their deal is with shipping, but we would be able to go to IKEA and pick stuff up. And could you paint it? I could paint it, but I don't want to paint it. I don't want to go through that. Those things are huge. They're huge, and we decided that we have a bedroom in the basement where we could move that furniture and just have it down there, because it is family furniture. It came from someone in our family, so we don't want to get rid of it. Yeah, and so we want to keep it. But we thought about maybe moving it to the downstairs bedroom, because we were the type of people who, when we moved into our house, we did not technically have enough furniture to fill the whole house, and we didn't want to jump the gun and just buy furniture to fill the house. So our downstairs bedroom just has a bed, literally a bed. It's got a bed and a side table, so there's no other furniture in there. So we would be able to potentially move that furniture downstairs. So as we're having this conversation, and I'm kind of going back and forth between because we have Billy bookshelves from IKEA in our living room, and they've been amazing. They're great. They're really not that expensive, and they truly do create that kind of built-in bookshelf feel on our living room wall. And we put those in a couple of years ago, and they've lasted. They're great. They look really good. They look really nice. But then we have also purchased the Calyx bookshelves. So if you look at IKEA, the Billy bookshelves are like tall and narrow, and the Calyx are shorter and wider, and they have these squares. So the only reason that I knew about Calyx was because they are one of the few bookshelves that you can buy that fit the LP vinyl records. And so that's something that the captain has a ton of records, and I was finally like, we need to get these out of crates. We need to get them out of crates and into something where you can actually use them. And the Calyx bookshelf from IKEA, that is the double, so it's got 8 total squares, is just tall enough for him to have his actual turntables on the top, use the turntables, and then fill the 8 squares with vinyl. And I was like, these are actually really nice, and again, they're not that expensive. And so if you look comparatively, if you go to like Wayfair and you try to find something similar, it's going to be more expensive than IKEA. And they're actually made well. They're actually really, really well made, surprisingly well made. And so I've been going back and forth as to whether or not I would replace those with Billy or Calyx, because if I get the Calyx shelves, then I'd probably end up stacking them really high, because if I get the Billy bookshelves, they really will create that kind of yarn wall, you know, and I think that would be cool to have as like the backdrop. If I can have a space that has a yarn wall backdrop, that's probably where I would do my lives instead of being outside. I'd probably still come outside a little because it's just nice. But it would give me a space that's workable in the house. I could shut the door, go live in there, not have the dogs running around, and not have to be outside. So then today we had a kind of epiphany, because I was saying, well, if we start with anything, I feel like I need to start with the Murphy bed, because that would get the bed out of the middle of the room to give me workable space to have a table, because I would like to have a table where I can actually do my, like, package everything up, have my printer in that same room so I can print straight from my phone. So that would just be great. But the problem is, you know, Murphy beds can be a little janky. They, you know, they're not super easy to work with. They may not be super comfortable. And, you know, we don't want to have to change out the mattress that's upstairs and not be able to use the box spring, and then it's an uncomfortable place for people to sleep. So we decided, well, and actually the captain brought this up. He said, what if we make your yarn room the downstairs basement room? And at first I was like, man, like, it's a basement, it's dark, you know, but honestly, it's not any darker than my upstairs room, because the upstairs room doesn't have a very good window. It's got this teeny tiny window that's facing, it never gets good sunlight coming in there. So I was like, you know, I also painted the downstairs bedroom a light gray. So if we change the light fixture and have more light in the room, it's actually going to reverberate off the walls in a really nice way, and it'll be lighter and brighter in that room, even without a natural light like a window. And the bed that's in that downstairs space is a skinnier mattress. It's not the best bed, but it came with the house. So that was, you know, they had left it. And so that would be a better bed for us to turn into a Murphy bed, because the upstairs bedroom has a really nice mattress and a really nice box spring, that would be really hard to, like, transition that into a Murphy bed, and it'll be heavier. And so if we do it downstairs, then, and that's kind of cool, like, the downstairs basement room can be the cool basement bedroom, you know, that has a Murphy bed and that is also doubling as a craft room, whereas the upstairs bedroom, especially for, like, resale purposes, you know, it'll be a traditional guest room. So that's been the thought process. It's been a lot, thinking about what could we really do, and not for a ton of money, because I don't want to go spend a ton of money on this space, but you know, I don't mind doing stuff over time, you know, building on it over time. But I think now, I think the next step is to look at Murphy beds and look at turning my downstairs basement room into a yarn room, into a craft room, a craft space, an actual workable space where I can put all my stuff together, do my lives. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. You guys know I'll take you on that journey and keep you guys posted on everything. But it's exciting. It's exciting to think about it. You know, we're at that point where it's definitely worth thinking about. You know, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, let me know on that post, if you have some time, and let me know what some of the things would be. Like, if you had, if money was no issue, what are some of the cool things that you would have in your room? I know for me, like, I've never owned a yarn winder and a spindle. I think it's called a spindle, that you have to actually put your yarn around and then you can wind the yarn cakes. I've never had one of those. So to have the space for that, if I could have a big enough table and have that on one side. And then obviously the idea of a yarn wall. I would want to get lighting, like some nice lighting if I were going to go live in there. Might move the computer down there. So yeah, there's lots of really cool ideas, of things that would be really great for that kind of space. So we'll see. We had even talked about painting a mural out here. So the wall on the other side of my phone is just a white, like, stucco style wall. And the captain told me I needed to put a mural on it since I go live down here so often. And then I can have the colorful wall behind me. So many ideas. So let's see. That was the other thing I wanted to talk about today, and I had almost forgotten about it. But wanting to go live and talk about yarn rooms and craft rooms and all of those goals, yarny goals. Okay, let's see.
I am making some good progress. It's really hard to crochet and talk at the same time, you guys, just so you know. But that's what we're looking like. And if you're just joining in again, I'll show you guys the other panel. This is panel 2 of 4. This is the first panel. So you can see, again, this would be the shoulder. This is the neckline, so it's going to have a V-neck. So it'll wrap around. It's just going to be a regular old pullover. Maybe a little boxy. I feel like this is going to be maybe a little big because I want to add a border around it before I sew it up. But this is a Hobby Umami. So it's their Hobby Umami. It is their newest wool blend super bulky yarn. And I'm using a 15mm hook. So let me know if there's anything that you guys would like to see me do a pattern for this fall. This is going to be a pullover. I knew I wanted to do a pullover. I know I want to do a long cardigan, like a longer cardigan with like some pockets, because all of my cardigans are on the cropped side. I've thought about doing a bathrobe, like a robe for around the house out of blanket yarn, because I feel like that would be super, super on brand. And have it have the big tie and the fluffy sleeves and all that crazy stuff. And then I know that I need to do I want to do a double-stranded cardigan because I feel like that would be super squishy and obnoxious. So that's on the docket. Wes My Designs, what's your favorite stitch? My favorite stitch has to be half double crochet. And I'm surprised no one piped up before I even could say it, because if you have tried any of my designs so far that are in my Etsy shop, so like my newest cardigans and things, HDC is rampant in my patterns. I just love the texture that so if you look at this is my newest headband pattern that's going to be coming out as part of my craft show bundle, and it is alternating half double crochet and single crochet. But I just love the ease of it. For me, it's I can do it quickly with less pain. It just feels natural. It's a natural feel to the flow of the stitch. And I actually forced myself to try to create, like I said, I'm trying to create a single crochet collection this year, which is what this is the start of. Because I needed to force myself to try a different stitch. I've become obsessed with the feather stitch. Okay, I'm gonna have to check that out because I have not heard of the feather stitch. You can describe it if you want to. Is it like a combination of different stitches, or? Because I really like the moss stitch, where it's the single crochet and then you skip one and then you single crochet in the next space. I think moss stitch is really pretty. I think most of my patterns will probably always be very, very simple stitches because I'm trying to be super beginner friendly, and it's also really hard as you get into combination stitches. Sizing up gets harder. So creating additional sizes because you're limited by the number of stitches you need for the repeat. Whereas with single crochet I can add as many as I want because it's just single crochet. But that's why I decided to do a single crochet collection, because I needed to get out of my comfort zone of half double crochet, but I wanted to stay in the realm of being very beginner friendly and very like meditative, you know, nothing too difficult to keep up with. And so I said, well, I'll just make myself use single crochet for everything for my next couple of patterns. Kind of hard to describe. The base round is a half double crochet, and then you chain one, skip one, and then the feather round is a lot to type. I'll send you a photo. Definitely send me a photo because that sounds interesting. But yeah, I'll have to check that out. I haven't followed a pattern in forever. I think the last pattern that I followed was, if you guys follow Cowl Shop, excuse me, I've got the hiccups. C-A-L-O-U, I think is how you spell it.
She just started releasing a lot of knitting patterns, but she used to do more crochet, I believe, the amigurumi. And I love her. She's got a unicorn pattern, like a crochet amigurumi unicorn. And I used it, so it's meant for like a size 3 or 4 weight yarn, and I used a size 6, and I upped the hook size, and I made a giant stuffed unicorn. It was wonderful. But her patterns are really easy to follow, so you guys should check her out if you like amigurumi and want to make some little plushies. Those are really fun. My testers photos are in my stories, using the feather stitch in my new pattern. Okay, I'll have to check that out for sure. What are you making? Is it a cardigan, a sweater, a hat? Let me know. I definitely need to start gathering some ideas for maybe like a hat roundup, or like I said, I'm definitely going to do a cardigan roundup and a pullover roundup, like a long sleeve pullover roundup. But I need to do maybe a hat roundup and a scarf roundup, you know, some really fun fall and winter idea designs. I really love doing the roundups. It's really fun to go do the research, you know, to go on Etsy and like find really cool patterns and find designers that I'd never heard of. I really enjoy that. Let's see what time it is. Oh, we're going over. Okay, yeah, it's been over an hour. So, before I go, I hope, and thank you for joining in, and to anyone who's watching this, I do repost these on my feed, so you can rewatch it or watch, you know, the beginning if you want to. Oh, and you are making a water bottle holder / small bag, and then the new pattern will be a beanie and a headband. Awesome. And then do I still do any amigurumi? I do not. I have never created an amigurumi pattern either. So, I never say never. That could potentially happen. But it's never been something that I've played around with. I've never made amigurumi myself and like not followed a pattern. So I would want to make sure that I could figure out how to do it and not be too derivative of someone else's pattern, because that's all I've ever done is follow other people's patterns for amigurumi. But yeah, so things coming up. Again, if you're just joining in, and since I'm about to sign off, I wanted to give you guys an update. Next Tuesday, I'll be going live on YouTube. So I go live twice a week, Tuesdays at 12 p.m. Eastern Time on YouTube, Fridays at 12 p.m. Eastern Time here on Instagram. I try to cross-post them, you know, for anyone who's interested in rewatching. But next Tuesday, I'm going to be joined by Kayla of Alt Knots. So here on Instagram, she is at Alt, A-L-T, Knots, K-N-O-T-S. So you can check her out. But we are going to go live on YouTube this coming Tuesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time to talk about community and talk about her brand, and how she got started and what made her make the switch to full-time. So I'm really excited about that. My Learn to Crochet series is now live on YouTube. You can check that out. I also have a Learn to Crochet kit in my Etsy shop, which I think will be really fun around the holidays, because most of you guys, if you're watching this, you already know how to crochet, but if you have friends that you want to introduce to the craft, this would be a great way to do that. So we'll make really cool holiday gifts for people, you know, where they can learn something new. And let's see, Halloween mystery boxes are coming. That's on the list. I'm getting all of that ready to go. We'll probably be opening pre-orders next week for Halloween mystery boxes, which will be a mix of crochet goodies as well as just some fun Halloween goodies. And I think that's everything. Working on new patterns, craft show bundle coming soon. I just have to get the headband tested, and I'll be able to release that in my Etsy shop. And I think that's about it. So yeah, thank you guys so much for joining in today, and I hope you have a fantastic weekend. And yeah, we will talk very soon. Bye guys.